Your person is deeply committed to you, and they are now ready to open up in ways they may not have done before. They feel an urge to express their genuine emotions, to finally reveal what has been on their heart and mind. This moment of vulnerability is significant for them, and it speaks to the depth of their feelings. They are ready to share some hard truths, not just about their own experiences but also about their emotional journey with you. There is a sense that they have been holding back for some time, but now they believe the time has come to reveal these inner thoughts. What makes this even more important is that they feel safe with you. You provide them with a sense of emotional security that they haven't found elsewhere. Your understanding and empathy have made it easier for them to trust you, and it's this trust that has allowed them to get to the point where they feel comfortable opening up. Even if you haven't fully realized it yet, they rely on this connection much more than you may have expected. There's a strong belief on their part that you will understand their emotions, even the more complex or difficult ones. They know you won't judge them, and this acceptance has created a bond that they feel is irreplaceable. The passion that exists between the two of you is undeniable. Even when you both face challenges, that passion is what keeps pulling you back together. It's almost magnetic, the way your connection works. The intensity of your bond is something they feel on a deep level. Even during times of separation or emotional distance, there is this underlying energy that continuously draws you both back into each other's lives. It's a connection they cherish, and one that they miss greatly when it's not as present or as strong as it once was. Despite this undeniable connection, your person is currently feeling an immense amount of pressure. They are going through a lot in their personal life, and it's weighing heavily on them. There's so much happening in their world right now that it can feel overwhelming. This stress creates a sort of mental fog for them, making it difficult to see things clearly or take action immediately. However, despite everything they are dealing with, they are still very much alive in their feelings for you. Even though their life is filled with other pressures, their emotions for you remain strong and present. One of the things that weighs on them the most is how much they miss the connection with you. They long for the closeness and intimacy that you once shared. In many ways, they see you as their other half, the person who completes them. Without you, they feel an absence that is hard to ignore. While they understand that there are forces beyond their control, such as divine timing, that are influencing the course of your relationship, it doesn't stop them from feeling the pull towards you. There is a strong sense that they are calling out to you, yearning to bridge the gap between you. This is a period of deep reflection for them. They are taking time to examine their own feelings, their life, and their relationship with you. This introspection is important, as it is helping them to gain clarity on what they truly want and need. They are fast approaching a point where they are ready to make changes and shift things in your connection. The sense of urgency they feel is growing, and it's only a matter of time before they act on it. When they do, it's likely that they will bring a new level of intensity and commitment to the relationship. Looking back, it's clear that they felt the intensity and depth of your connection before you did. While you may have noticed it later or felt it grow over time, they were already aware of just how special and meaningful your bond was. If you take a moment to reflect on your journey together, you might start to see how all the moments and experiences have led you to where you are now. By connecting the dots, you may gain a better understanding of the deep emotions they've been experiencing all along. Ultimately, this is a crucial moment for your relationship. Your person is on the verge of revealing more of themselves and making a move to strengthen the connection between you. The emotions they are carrying are intense, and their desire to reconnect is powerful. As they navigate the pressures in their life and come to terms with their own feelings, they are preparing to make a shift that could bring you both closer than ever before. They trust you, they feel safe with you, and they miss you more than you may know. All of these feelings are propelling them toward a deeper, more meaningful connection with you. In the past, I treated you like my enemy, and for that, I have felt deep regret many times. I now realize that my actions were driven by anger, frustration, and confusion. Looking back, I wish I had acted differently, and I regret the harsh words and impulsive decisions I made in those moments. At the time, I allowed my ego to take control, and that clouded my ability to see the truth. Now, I know that ego itself is a false concept, something that distorts our perception and keeps us from understanding our deeper reality. I wish I had realized this sooner, but it took me time and reflection to see it clearly. Before I met you, I had been living in a false reality, completely unaware of how disconnected I was from my true self and my purpose. I spent years searching for answers, trying to understand what felt off about my life. There was always this sense that something was wrong, something I couldn't quite grasp, but I couldn't figure out what it was. I believed that I had to live by the principle of my way or the highway, thinking that controlling everything around me was the key to success and happiness. I thought I knew what I was doing, but in reality, I was lost, just following the path that society and my own misconceptions had laid out for me. It wasn't until I met you that I began to see things differently. You opened my eyes to something I had never experienced before. You didn't want anything from me, and that was so foreign to me. I had always encountered people who wanted something in return, whether it was approval, attention, or some kind of exchange. I never realized how much that shaped the way I interacted with others. When I met you, you offered kindness, understanding, and love without expecting anything in return, and that confused me at first. I didn't know how to handle it because it was so different from what I was used to. I didn't see your value right away because I was blinded by my own ego and insecurities. I was so used to people wanting something from me that I didn't recognize genuine, unconditional care when it was right in front of me. It took me a long time to understand that you were offering something pure and real, something I had never experienced before. I wish I could go back and appreciate you sooner, but at the time, I was too caught up in my own false reality to see it. One of the things that used to hurt me the most was how I hid my emotions. I would suppress my true feelings, using physical pleasure as a way to avoid facing my emotions. I thought that by focusing on the surface-level experiences, I could avoid the pain and confusion that I felt inside. But in doing so, I ended up feeling empty and disconnected from myself. I felt like I had turned myself into an object, something that was only meant for fun or play, rather than a person with real emotions and a deeper purpose. I thought that by ignoring my emotional needs, I could protect myself from getting hurt, but in reality, I was only hurting myself more. When I spoke with you, when I saw the way you treated me, I realized that you saw me as more than just an object. You saw me for who I truly am, even when I couldn't see it myself. That was a turning point for me. It made me realize that I had been living a lie, that I had been denying my own worth and value for far too long. You helped me see that there was more to life than the superficial things I had been chasing. I had been so focused on what I thought I needed, status, control, and validation, that I lost sight of what really mattered. Now, looking back, I can see how much I have grown and learned from my time with you. I realized that my soul always knew I was living a facade, even if my conscious mind didn't fully understand it. Deep down, I knew that I was meant for something more, that there was a greater purpose for me on this planet. It just took me a while to figure it out. Meeting you helped me on that journey, and I will always be grateful for that. You didn't just change the way I see the world, you helped me understand myself on a deeper level, and for that, I am forever thankful. I now see that life isn't about controlling everything or getting something in return. It's about connection, love, and living authentically. I no longer feel like I'm living a facade, and I have you to thank for helping me see the truth. I may have treated you like an enemy in the past, but now I see that you were always a friend, a guide who helped me find my way when I was lost. Your partner is finding themselves overwhelmed by how much they miss being in your presence. The sound of your soft voice and the strength of your personality have left an imprint on their mind and heart. They find themselves longing for the comfort and connection they once shared with you, realizing more each day just how much those qualities meant to them. The tenderness of your voice, the warmth of your words, and the confidence with which you carry yourself are all things that have become irreplaceable in their life. It's not just about missing you in a physical sense, but a deeper, emotional absence that weighs on their heart. The time they spend without you now feels emptier, and there's a growing void that only your presence seems capable of filling. Lately, this longing has taken on a more profound and emotional tone. Whenever they imagine what true fulfillment in life might look like, they often picture it with you by their side. The idea of building a family with you has become a central part of their daydreams, an image that brings them both hope and heartache. The thought of creating something so meaningful, a family, a future, a life of shared moments, fills them with a sense of purpose, but also pain, because at this moment, that vision seems out of reach. The emotional pull they feel towards you is undeniable, and it's in those quiet moments of reflection that they realize just how deeply connected they are to the idea of a future with you. However, this deep emotional connection and longing have become somewhat of a torment for them. They are hurting, not just because you are physically apart, but because they are stuck in their head, replaying these feelings and desires over and over again. The longing for you has become almost unbearable, and it's made worse by the fact that you are currently unavailable. They understand that you are focused on making your life more beautiful and stable, and they admire your drive and dedication. You are working towards your goals, shaping your future, and creating a sense of stability that will support your growth and happiness. But for your partner, this means that right now, you cannot be as present in their life as they wish you could be, and that reality is hard for them to accept. What makes it even more painful is that they are haunted by a sense of regret. Looking back on how things unfolded between you, they can't help but feel remorse over the games they played with you. Whether it was ego, fear, or insecurity that drove them, they now see clearly how their actions have contributed to the current distance between you. The universe is teaching them a lesson, showing them what they have lost, even if only temporarily, because of their so-called ego. They realize now that those games were a form of self-sabotage, and that by acting out of pride or defensiveness, they pushed away the one person they care about the most. It's a painful realization, but it's also one they know they needed to face in order to grow. As they reflect on all of this, they are left feeling drained and exhausted. The emotional toll of longing for you, combined with the weight of their regrets, has left them tired, both mentally and spiritually. They've been carrying around the burden of these unresolved emotions for a while now, and it's starting to catch up with them. There's a sense that they are running on empty, and they know deep down that something has to change. This emotional fatigue has brought them to a crossroads, a point where they can no longer avoid making a decision about what they truly want in life. The time for indecision is over. They understand that they need to be honest with themselves about their desires and take action. They know that in order to move forward, they have to choose between two paths. One path involves fully embracing their feelings for you, owning up to their mistakes, and working towards building the life they dream of with you. This path would require vulnerability, courage, and a willingness to let go of their ego. The other path involves walking away, not necessarily out of lack of love, but out of a need for clarity and personal growth. They realize that if they can't fully commit to what they want, they may need to step back and give both of you the space to figure things out separately. It's not an easy choice, but it's one they know they can't avoid any longer. At the core of it all, your partner is at a point where they must reconcile their emotions, their desires, and their actions. They miss you deeply, they regret the games they played, and they are feeling the consequences of their choices. Yet, they are also beginning to understand that in order to have the future they dream of, with you or without you, they need to be honest about what they truly want and take responsibility for making that happen. Whether they choose to step forward and pursue that dream with you, or walk away for the sake of personal clarity, they know that the time for ego-driven decisions has passed. They are tired of living in their head, and they are ready to make a change.